G'day guys, my name's Dave and welcome to another Guitar Zero to Hero song tutorial. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to play Viva La Vida by Coldplay, which is one of their best songs. Now in this lesson, I'll teach you an easy way of playing this song that just requires a capo on the first fret, but I'll also teach you an acoustic version that Chris Martin actually plays. So when he plays this live, he actually detunes his guitar. I'm going to teach you exactly how he does it and it sounds really good on the acoustic guitar. Now, if you want to master your chords back to front, then be sure to head over to guitarzerotohero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. Or if you want to improve on your guitar, then sign up to Guitar Zero to Hero Premium, which is my complete step-by-step guitar course. Let's jump into the lesson. So I'm going to start by teaching you the easiest possible way of playing this song, and it won't require you detuning your guitar like Chris Martin does in his live performance, but you will need a capo on the first fret of your guitar. Let's start by learning the 4-chord chord progression that gets played throughout the majority of the song. 4-chord chord progression starts with the C, and then what I'm going to call a D chord. Now it's just this C shape, just you slide it up 2 frets. So that's what I'm going to call a D, and then we have G, and then E minor. I'm going to start by teaching you a simple strumming pattern that you can use, and then I'll teach you a more rhythmic strumming pattern that's similar to the strings in the actual song. So the simple strumming pattern goes like this: down, 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 up, down, up, up, down, up, up, down, up. Now there's going to be 2 chords within each strumming pattern, and the point at which we're going to change chords is on the highlighted up strum. So for the C to the D, and then the G to the E minor. You piece that together and the main chord progression sounds like this. So that's it for the easy strumming pattern. Now I'll teach you the more rhythmic strumming pattern. Now to play this rhythmic strumming pattern, it is essentially 16 down strums, except we're going to be palm muting them. So what that means is you take your fleshy bit of your palm and rest it lightly on the edge of the bridge. If you rest it lightly on the edge, you get this really nice palm muted sound. Too far in, nothing's gonna ring out. Too far out, it rings out like normal. So it needs to be right on the edge. And you need to only focus on the top 2 or 3 bass notes of the chord you're playing. So for this C, I'll just focus on the 5th and 4th strings. Now the point at which we're going to change chords is the same. So if we put that all together, this is what the C to D sounds like. Now that's still actually a little bit boring. Now what we're going to do to make this even more lively is add some accents. Now what we'll do with the accents is we won't palm mute those particular strums. Now in the annotations below, I'll show you exactly which down strums need to be accented. But basically it's on the 1, 2, 3 beat, and then on the end beat after the 4, the end beat after the 1, and then the last 3 and 4 beat. Now remember, you won't palm mute those accents. So it's very subtle, but it'll sound like this. So practice that really slowly. Don't go up to full speed unless you have the hang of it at a slower speed. And then we do the exact same thing for the G to the E minor. And at a faster speed, this is what the more rhythmic strumming pattern sounds like. Now the only other part we need to learn structurally is the build-up. Now the build-up's super simple because it's a C and then E minor. And I'm going to repeat that through 3 times, and then we have a D, and we're going to play that for a full strumming pattern. There's no change to this D. So the build-up will sound like this if we're just using the simple strumming pattern. And that's everything for the super simple version. All right, so now I'll teach you how Chris Martin plays this live acoustically. So he actually detunes his guitar to a really sort of weird tuning. So basically everything's down a half step except for the G string, which is down one full step. So E to E flat, A to A flat, D to D flat, G to F, B to B flat, and then E to E flat. Alright, so now that we have our guitar in tune, we're good to go. Now let's start with the verse. Now the verse riff is based off of 4 chord shapes. So our first chord shape is like this. Now we're going to call this a D flat. You don't really need to memorize the name of the chords. If you follow along with the tab, then you should be right. But I'm just going to call this a D flat anyway. Now this would be a D if you were in standard tuning, but since we've tuned everything down, it's a D flat. So this power chord is our first shape. So index on the 10th fret and ring on the 12th fret of the 5th and 6th strings. Our second shape is the same. We just lift our index finger. So it's open 6th string and then 12th fret of the 5th string. Our third shape is the same as the first one, except our index finger goes down to the 9th fret. And our final shape is a power chord here on the 2nd and 4th frets. So 4 shapes here. Now in terms of strumming pattern, we have 16 down strums. And this is all going to be palm muted, so take the fleshy bit of your palm, rest it lightly on the edge of the bridge. Now the point at which you're going to change chords is on the end beat after the 4. So from this shape to the open shape, it's on the end beat after the 4 where you change. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then the same thing applies to the 3rd and 4th shape. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now similarly to the simple version, to make this even better, we're going to add some accents to this strumming pattern. Now to accent that strum, we're going to not palm mute it, but everything else will be palm muted. So the accents are on the 1, 2, 3, end beat after the 4, end beat after the 1, the 3, and the 4 beat. Now just refer to the annotation, but it will sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now I encourage you to really practice that slow, but if you have good rhythm and you've memorized how the strings sort of accent, then you should be alright with this. And you just keep repeating that again and again for the verse, which is really nice and easy. Next we get to the chorus. Now there's 5 chord shapes we need to learn here, 4 essentially, but one's just a slight variation. Our first one, you're going to play a D power chord shape like this, but you're going to let the 2nd and 1st strings ring out. So we're only strumming from the 5th string onwards. It's a beautiful sounding chord. Our second chord shape, your ring goes on the 7th, middle on the 6th, index on the 5th of the 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings. And again, we're going to keep those top 2 strings open. And we're only strumming from the 5th string onwards. Our third chord shape is our middle ring and pinky finger on the 7th frets of the 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings. And your thumb's going to reach over the top and hit the 5th fret of the 6th string. Now you can play it with your index finger like this, or you can use your thumb. It's up to you. The thumb's probably going to be tricky for many people, so you can just do that if you want to. And again, leave that 1st and 2nd string open. And the final chord shape's like this. So ring and pinky on the 4th frets of the 5th and 4th string. Ideally, if you can hit that 2nd fret of the 6th string with your thumb, that's great. But we're going to leave our 3rd, 2nd, and 1st strings all open. And then the final one, which is a variation of this, is taking your index finger and putting on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Now in terms of strumming pattern, we have strumming pattern that goes like this. Down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now the point at which we're going to change chords is on the highlighted down strum for the first 2 chords. So it's really simple. Down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And then for the next 3 chords, there's 2 chord changes and they're both on up strums as well. Down, 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 up, down, up. And that's it for the chorus. And once you piece that all together, it'll sound like this. you just play that again and again for the chorus. The final thing we need to learn for this acoustic version is the build up, which is really simple. One line of tab here. We have this D shape for our chorus, and we go to this shape. Now you can play the full thing, but since we're really just palm muting it, you can just play the power chord. And we're going to use the rhythmic strumming pattern that we had in the verse. So you play those two chords through 3 times, and then the final chord is like this. So it's what we had in the chorus, and we're going to play that for one full strumming pattern. Build that up, and then we go into a final chorus. So that's everything for this acoustic version. So now I'll be doing the playthroughs of the song. I'll be doing a playthrough of the easy version and a playthrough of the acoustic version. Feel free to play this back as many times as you'd like to practice, play along to, and see how you go.
That was when I ruled the world.
Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to head over to guitarzerotohero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook, or if you want to improve on your guitar, then sign up to Guitar Zero to Hero Premium, which is my complete step-by-step guitar course. It'd mean the world if you could hit that like button, hit subscribe, and click the little notification bell as well so that you don't miss out my updates. Please leave your thoughts, comments, questions, and requests down below, and I'll see you guys next time on Guitar Zero to Hero. Cheers.